We have a little update here, a little breaking news over on the channel. Spider-Man is back in the MCU. Tom Holland is back. It's been a long and bumpy journey. Bit of a long road. I'm here with my buddy old pal Nate. Some call him Nate the Watergate. How you doing?
Doing good.
Glad to have you back. Maybe some people will remember you from the GTA videos we did together that nobody watched, or the Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2
Which some people
review.
watched.
Yeah, that some people watched. So I'm glad to have you back. We were hanging out and this news came out, so I thought we should just record it together because I like using people for clout and views. And we wanted to go over the joint statements from both Kevin Feige and Amy Pascal. Now, as many of you know, Kevin Feige, he's really the head of the Marvel Cinematic Universe studio. He is the visionary behind the main narrative running through these movies. So kind of what he says goes. So his statement reads as follows. I am thrilled that Spidey's journey in the MCU will continue. And I and all of us at Marvel Studios are very excited that we get to keep working on it. Spider-Man is a powerful icon and a hero whose story crosses all ages and audiences around the globe. He also happens to be the only hero with the superpower to cross cinematic universes. So as Sony continues to develop their own Spideyverse, you never know what surprises the future may hold. That's definitely something that we're going to come back and talk about in a bit. But first, Nate, you wanted to read Amy Pascal's statement.
Her statement reads, "This is terrific. Peter Parker's story took a dramatic turn in Far From Home, and I could not be happier. We will all be working together as we see where this journey goes."
Very inspiring, I think.
Thank you.
Now, there's some interesting things to actually dive into here because there's clarification on the news and on the deal. Part of it, too, is that not only is he getting a third movie, so to round off his trilogy, but he's also reportedly getting one more appearance in a Marvel movie outside of that.
Which will probably be an Avengers movie.
Yeah, I would think so. I don't know if that's it, though. I think, like you said earlier, this would be a weird place to end it. I mean, yes, you'd round off his trilogy, and you'd have him one more time, but it really seemed like he was primed to be the new...
He was just getting started.
Yeah, he's kind of the new Tony.
Yeah.
Like, he's the new head of the new humanizing figurehead of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So if he's just getting one more story and then an appearance, that's a weird way to go out still. Much better than where we were at.
Yeah.
Of just randomly dropping off.
It's kind of like with Tony, if you were to stop his story after Iron Man 3.
Yeah.
Where he was just starting to get more of the hero role and learning how to grow as a person and as a superhero.
Yeah, that's true. It's kind of a weird spot to actually just drop off. So hopefully that won't be the case, but that's the confirmation we have right now. The deal was signed last Thursday night, but a lot of that information didn't come out until today on Thursday? Well, I mean, no, today's Friday.
Friday.
So it was signed at night, and then it kind of came out the next morning. And we definitely would have gotten to it a little sooner, but, we were out, and it was still breaking news, pretty much. But really, it seems like Sony caved a little bit on this one. I can't tell that for sure. But the report is essentially that Sony has agreed to Marvel's original push for the 25% stake. So it's essentially that Disney Marvel, they'll be paying 25% of the movie to be made. So if the movie costs $100 million, which they pretty much always cost more than that, they'd be paying $25 million, but then they'd also be getting 25% of the profits, which will be considerably more than they put in.
Yeah.
Because Far From Home's like over $1 billion now.
Yeah.
So it's like it's kind of a no-brainer for them.
25% of $1 billion,
that would be almost triple what you put in to the movie, yeah. So, and then you have to think, too, that it's very likely that Sony is footing all the bill for the actual marketing because that's not in the film production budget of the actual production.
Yeah.
It's confusing. Hollywood's weird. But there's some other weird stuff with this as well. This film is scheduled for release July 16th, 2021. Something you pointed out to me, Nate, was actually the end of Feige's statement. How he talks about Spider-Man as the only superhero with the superpower to cross over cinematic universes. So as Sony continues to develop their own Spideyverse, you never know what surprises the future may hold. It really seems to me like there maybe part of this deal is that he will show up in Sony movies.
Yeah, like that's kind of what I'm thinking. Like, are we going to have an MCU Tom Holland Spider-Man and a Sony Tom Holland Spider-Man? And they're different?
I think so, but I don't know. Unless the idea is that in the Sonyverse, that Peter has experienced all the Marvel stuff, but it seems like Marvel does not want Venom and those movies in the MCU.
Yeah.
So that's what confuses me, especially with how much they're coming out with.
Right.
They have Morbius in 2020, Venom 2 in 2020, and there was already reports of Holland being asked to do scenes for both of these movies after that deal had fallen through.
Yeah.
Then there was the Night Watch movie, Kraven the Hunter, Black Cat, Silver Sable, The Sinister Six, Madam Web, and other projects that haven't been confirmed, like a movie about Silk.
Yep. And they're reportedly looking about movies on Mysterio.
That's so weird.
And Jackpot. So...
Well, the thing that's weird about Mysterio is that he is the central character, I would say, other than Peter in Far From Home.
Yes.
So if you're going to do that and it's not in the MCU, I don't understand how that would work.
Well, and they still want the same actor to play Mysterio.
Yeah, and they said in December 2018... and part of this is from, I'll definitely include some links here, but some of it's from different articles, like from Variety. There's also Wikipedia pages upon pages of this stuff. But in December 2018, they had apparently also stated that they could do a spin-off film from MCU Spider-Man or animated Spider-Verse films with Aunt May even. Which, I don't know who wants that.
It's like...
I'm excited that Spider-Man is back in the MCU. You know, I had kind of written it off. Like, I didn't think it was permanently done. I thought that, personally, I had thought that they were going to let this go, though, for now. Sony was going to try to make their own Spider-Man movie, and it was going to turn out not as good. And then they would come crawling back.
Where'd that bring you? Back to me.
Yeah, that's what I thought. You had some more insight on this, too.
Yeah, I think it's interesting the date that they chose. It's July 21st, 2021.
I think 16th, 2021.
July 16th, 2021. The reason why that's interesting is if you look at the Phase 4, 2020 is pretty bare, all things considering. If you get into 2021, you're looking at Shang-Chi, WandaVision, Doctor Strange, Loki, What If, Hawkeye, Thor Love and Thunder, and now a Spider-Man film. That's 8 films. Films and TV shows coming out in 1 year.
Yeah, that is a lot.
It's a lot for one. Like, I don't see why they didn't take a couple of these and put them into 2020.
Yeah, so really just the point that with 2021, it's going to be ridiculously busy. Like, yeah. I don't know how they're going to cram in everything, or luckily it's not all movies, because otherwise it'd be like every 2 months there would be a movie.
A new film in theaters.
Yeah, but there is going to be a few. And then there's going to be a lot of Disney Plus stuff. So I'm just interested to see how they actually round off the Spider-Man story, if maybe this partnership will continue past here. I feel like it's only profitable for these companies to keep it going. And it really makes sense for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. You know, they had talked about making Brie Larson's Captain Marvel like one of the head figures of that universe, but like in a lot of polls and like online, you know, response, it just seems like people don't really connect with that character very well.
Yeah. I
kind of think they need Peter for that.
Yeah, and I think after the departure of Tony and Steve Rogers, it's important to establish another head, and to me, Peter's probably the best one to do it. In this current cast, Peter's probably the best option for that. I am interested to see what they do with the XMen and the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, and where that even falls, if it'll be Phase 5 or what.
I kind of think they would need to bring some leaders from that into the MCU. Like maybe a Cyclops or like a Wolverine, or just get some like central figures from the X-Men and make them important heads in the MCU.
Well, and that's the thing with their staggered releases. They have been able so far to, when they lose characters, introduce new ones. And I guess the problem with Spider-Man having left was that he was lost so abruptly.
Yeah.
That nobody was able to be introduced to, like, make up for it. So because he's back, they have a chance to fix that, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, let us know in the comments down below what you think. Are you excited Spider-Man's back? Are you of the camp that you actually wanted a Sony Spider-Man universe on its own? Are you excited for any of the Spider-Verse movies? I'm actually interested in Into the Spider-Verse too. I'm interested in that one, but the rest are kind of odd looking to me. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Please like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe for more content, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.